Welcome to Beth and Ryan's Guelph Real Estate Market Update for Guelph today for summer 2025. Subscribe to their YouTube channel, listen to the Guelph Real Estate Report podcast, or read their full market blog at bethandryan.ca.
Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth and this is Ryan.
Today we are back after a long time off of these videos together to do a summary of the real estate market for July and so far into August, I guess midway through August. And these 2 months, July and August, make up some of the slower months.
July,
in the year.
August, and December are usually the slowest months for real estate.
Yeah, and that's because people are doing everything but real estate. They are on vacation, they are traveling, and they are doing many other things besides looking at real estate.
Yes.
Although we do have some clients who confess that they are on Realtor.ca or House Sigma all the time.
Yes.
So anyways, as we get through the summer months, sales tend to slow down. And interestingly though, July wasn't quite like that.
Right. July was a bit of an anomaly compared to other months this year in that this July was the only month to outperform last year's July.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the number of sales month by month were below 2024 in February, March, April, May, and June.
Yep.
And we anticipated July as well, but July was actually 10% greater than July of last year. And although July last year actually wasn't really a great month,
right,
it still does count.
Right.
It still is plus. It's double digits, about 10%.
Why do you think it was? We haven't really talked about that yet. But I think maybe, I was thinking about this, and maybe part of the reason that July saw a little bit of an uptick is because we saw inventory levels rise throughout the spring.
Yep.
And people who are looking to move, I don't know, sometimes June kind of marks the end of that season for a little bit. And if you haven't found something, maybe you're like, you know what? Let's just get this done.
Yeah.
And see a little bit of an uptick during July for people who maybe just didn't feel like they wanted to wait anymore. And there was a lot of inventory, so that could have accounted for some of it.
Yeah, and people tend to say that when you have a house on the market in a slower month like July and August, that those looking are going to be more serious because they are out looking oftentimes outside of vacation or traveling or whatever. So
they're making it a real priority.
Priority. And so we did see that uptick in July. I don't think as we get into August that it's going to continue. Well, I think partially it's because there's a bit of fatigue in the market with buyers, and they have started to pull back across the board just in looking for houses.
Yeah.
And it's brought down overall transaction volume, and with tariffs and unemployment, I think that so when we take a look at the number of houses that sell on an average day in Guelph, March, April, May, and June are typically above the average.
Right.
And the remainder of the months are usually under or at the average. And so the average is about 5. So in August so far, we're in the high 3s, which is a typical. Maybe we'll hit the low 4s by the end of the month, but overall for the month we are below, and it's not surprising.
Right.
It's not the worst August out there, and it's not the best August out there.
Right.
So depending on who you're talking to, they'd say it's pretty average. We are starting to see a bit of erosion on prices, especially in the condo market. And we saw for the first time, I think it's been a little while since I've seen this anyways, is a condo selling in the 200s.
Right.
There was a condo in the West End that sold in the 200s. And we still are seeing a fair number sell over $1 million. But that number, collectively, they're all starting to move a little bit downwards.
Which makes sense because we've seen that inventory levels have continued to go up, particularly in the condo market and kind of like stacked townhomes. And so we are seeing prices come down in those categories, but also across the board, prices, with the odd exception, have consistently, slowly been coming down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And there are about 230 or so condos-ish, townhouses, stacked townhouses-ish on the market, and about 1.5 sales per day. So it's a lot of inventory still. It's been like that for months at that level. So it's not an increase in volume selling through. It's the same volume selling through.
Yes.
And then the detached segment, it is also softening a little bit, although not much.
We had a moment in time, I think we talked about this in our last video, maybe 2 videos ago, but there was a moment in time where there was kind of a hot segment in the detached houses, and it was smaller detached homes, kind of under $1 million.
Yeah.
And then we saw those inventory numbers also increase,
Yeah.
and the numbers have started to soften there. So
Right.
I think it seems like in terms of pricing, detached houses are kind of following suit and coming down, but a little bit more slowly and behind condos and townhouses behind them.
But we are starting to see a bit of a blip in those selling over $1 million as well. Historically, about 15 to 20% of the sales were over $1 million, and over the last little while, we've seen just over 20. I think June was 30%, and so it is something to watch. And it makes sense if you're looking to, raise a family and need a bigger house, moving up to that next sort of phase. There are opportunities there for sure, and we've seen a fair number of those within our own client base. And so that segment is starting to pick up a little bit as well.
Which makes sense because despite the fact that the economy still has the obvious struggles, things seem to have stabilized. And that often brings back confidence in terms of people looking to spend more money, take on a slightly bigger mortgage potentially, feeling like even if maybe the economy's not great where we'd like to see it, at least we kind of know where it is.
Yeah.
And there's hopefully not going to be any dramatic changes in the near future.
Yeah, and so like on that note, I think we could probably say that it's safe to say that not a lot is going to happen between now and the end of the year. I don't think anyways. A lot is going to happen in terms of interest rates might drop one time, maybe 2 times. The next announcement is in September. And I don't think that the market is going to change in any meaningful way between now and the end of the year.
Other than that, typically after Labor Day weekend, we do see a bit of an increase in terms of number of transactions happening. The market usually picks up a little bit between kind of Labor Day and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what happens during that time, but it's probably going to be a little bit more of what we're seeing now, just a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more,
yeah.
And then after Thanksgiving, it tends to slowly wind down into Christmas, with December being the lowest number of transactions. But I don't I think transactions will be slightly below last year for the remainder of the year. It doesn't mean prices are going to be below last year, but I do think that maybe there's going to be very light softening of prices, maybe 1 or 2% decline. But I don't think anything meaningful is going to happen in Guelph real estate anyways between now and Christmas. As always, you can find us on our website at bethandryan.ca, where we have links to our blogs with more detailed information about this stuff, and a podcast. We're at episode number 20.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you are interested in an audio version, that's a great option for you. You can find it on Apple and on Spotify podcasts. And as always, reach out if you have any questions or concerns on the Guelph real estate market. See you next month.